Hi and welcome to WEH Videos. My name is Skip and this is part 2 on airport operations taxiways. And if you remember in the previous video we were landing here at San Carlos and we had just landed and we requested at the tower that we wanted to taxi to the terminal, and we got instructions and they were of November 84 Delta Lima, exit Delta, taxi via Lima Charlie Mike. So now here we are sitting on the runway, and what in the world does Lima Charlie Mike mean? So we need to look at our airport diagram. Now this is something that we should have done in our flight planning. This is not the time to be pulling out the diagram and figuring out where they want you to go. So we would have done this in our flight planning, and it would be a good idea to have this available at the airport also. So when you do land, if you are a little confused, you can take a quick look. All these letters here are taxiways. So if you remember our alphabet, we have Golf, Kilo, Juliet, Foxtrot, Echo, Delta, Mike, Lima. So that's what all these taxiways are named. And you can look over here now and you can see here is a sign that says Foxtrot. So as we're taxiing along, if they would have said exit at Foxtrot, we would have exited here. But we were instructed to exit at Delta, which is, well, let's see, we have Echo and then Delta. So this would be Echo and this would be Delta. So let's just cruise on up here. You know what, I think I'll just pause this and move up, and we'll just see that when we get there. Arrived at Delta, but we have a Delta with an arrow pointing this way and a Delta with an arrow pointing that way. What do we do? Well, this is why we need to know the diagram before we land. We know the terminal is over here, so if we had had this in our head or quickly looked at it when we landed, we would know that we would exit to the right. Now the traffic controller may also just tell you exit right at Delta, left on Lima, right on Charlie to Mike. That's possible, but you don't want to rely on that. So let's take a look from above so you can get a better idea. Here we are on the runway. This is the little sign with an arrow pointing to the right that says D for Delta. So we are going to exit Delta, and we are going to turn left and stay on Lima. This line here, this taxiway is Lima, and you can see it has an L here and an L here. So when you go that way, you will see the L. Over here is the Mike taxiway. On this side, we have K for Kilo, and over here we have J for Juliet. So this is the Juliet taxiway. This is the Kilo taxiway. So did you notice that when you look at the diagram reading across, we have J, K, L, M. Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, just like the alphabet. Same way on your taxiways, we have Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, and Golf. Alphabetical order. How about that? So let's continue on to our terminal. We are going to exit here at Delta. So bear with me here. I'm going to go kind of slow, and this plane for some reason is really hard to steer. It bounces all over the place on this runway. So here we are, we're exiting Delta, and now we are going to turn left on Lima. Now one thing we do here at San Carlos is we'll stop here once we have cleared the Delta taxiway, and we'll clean up the airplane. So we'll put up the flaps, and we'll turn the carburetor heat off and set the transponder to standby, and then we will continue on our way. So we're heading on down to Charlie. Let's just get on down here. And here we are at Charlie. Let's stop here so you can see what's going on. Okay, so this line here is the hold. So if you were going on to the runway, you would hold here. If you were going to cross the runway, I'm sorry, you would hold here. So that's what this sign is. Runway 30 and 12, that's what it is in red, and C is Charlie. So here we want to make a right turn at Charlie, because that's what we were instructed to do. So let's make our right turn, if I can get this thing to quit bouncing. And now we need to turn on to Mike. And then we're going to look for a place over here to park. And let's just move up here to this next little line that'll allow us to go in between the airplanes over here in the parking area. So now we're going to turn in here. And we have made it to Mike, and it looks like here's a place to park right here. So why don't we just go ahead and take this spot. And we'll put the brakes on, I hope. Just the brakes aren't working, so we're going to pause. And let's step outside. And here we are at the terminal at San Carlos. And that's the end of our little tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of this. If you liked this, please click the like button. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so. And thank you so much for watching, and God bless.